Let's build the stoplight circuit. So this is my solution to it, and it's not the only solution. It's just the way that I would build it. So if yours works, it's okay. I'm going to start by dropping a red and a yellow and a green LED onto my breadboard. Specific position doesn't matter, but we're going to spread them out a little bit so we have room to put wires. And for each of them, I'm going to go from the negative side, which is again the long pin. This one's, which is again the short pin. This is the long one, that's the bend plus the pin. So the short pin, and then I'm going to go down to blue bar with my resistor. So for each of these, let's move that one over one. Each of these, I'm going to go negative leg to the blue bar. There's the last one. So I now have 3 LEDs into my breadboard, and then each of them has a resistor going into the blue bar. I'm going to add a line from ground to the blue bar. And let's make that wire black. So that creates my ground wire. And once the ground wire is touching the blue bar, everything on that blue bar is going to be considered ground. The only thing left to do now is to run lines from my digital pins out to each of the lights. Let me slide the whole thing over a little bit, and this one's going to get in the way. So I'm going to move this to a different pin slot on the blue bar. There we go, that'll keep it from getting in the way. Let's run a wire from 7 to the red LED. So this is so far pretty much identical to everything that we've done to date on this. And then, so 7's going to run my red. Let's do 6. I'll go to yellow. And I'm going to change that wire and use a yellow wire. And then for our green one, let's do 5. We'll go to green and we'll make that wire green. And I'm going to bend that just a little bit so it's not running over my resistor there. And that would be my circuit for the stoplight. We have for each of the 3 LEDs, we have the negative line going through a resistor and into the blue bar. We have a line going from ground to the blue bar, and then pin 7 goes to the positive on the red, pin 6 goes to the positive on the yellow, pin 5 goes to the positive on the green. Now let's open the Arduino IDE and we'll build the solution. So File, New, and what we need to do in setup is we're going to, for all 3 of them, set the pin mode. So pin mode of 5 is output. And you can type the other 2 lines, or you can select this line, right click and choose copy, and then right click and paste, and I need to indent that, and then I can paste again, and then I just change my numbers, 6 and 7. So in setup we have created or set up all 3 of our digital pins, 5, 6, and 7, and we've set them to be output pins. Good to go there. Now we just need to set up our loop. What's going to happen in the loop is that first green is going to be on and yellow and red will be off. Then yellow will go on and green will go off. And then red will go on and yellow will go off. To accomplish that, I think I'm going to make some comments in here. And remember that a comment is 2 slashes. // green light on, and that's just text for me. The computer will ignore it. and then there'll be / yellow is on, and then / red is on. Now when the green light's on, what happens? We're going to do a digital write, and pin 5, which is our green, will be high. Pin 6, which is our yellow, will be low. And pin 7, which is our red, will also be low. Now when the green light comes on, it's going to be on for how long? I don't want to wait for 30 seconds to make sure this worked. Let's do this like a very small sample instead of something that would be realistic. In that case, let's set green to go on for 3 seconds, and then the yellow light will go on for 1 second, and then the red light can go on for 3 or 4 seconds. If the light was actually pointing in 2 directions, red would have to be on 4 seconds to account for green and yellow. But since it's just a one-directional light, it could actually be 3 seconds for each one if you want. Let's do 3, 1, 3. So here I'm going to say delay 3000, and that will create my 3-second delay. Now we're ready for the yellow. I don't have to type all that again. I can copy all of this. Right click, copy. I can come into the yellow section and paste it, and just change what's high and what's low. Double clicking on a word will select that word. So now green goes off and yellow goes on, and we're just going to change our delay to 1 second for yellow. Since I already copied this, all I have to do is paste it. And this time green is off and red is on, and we'll leave the delay 3 seconds. So we now have our code that we need for our stoplight. Let me get this so it's all on the screen at one time. We're setting up the 3 pins, 5, 6, and 7, where 5 is green, 6 is yellow, 7 is red. We're going to loop, and each time we loop, green will come on, red and yellow will be off for 3 seconds. Then yellow will come on and green will go off, and red's already off, and that'll stay on for 1 second, and then red will come on, green and yellow will be off for 3 seconds. If we compiled and ran that, that should take care of the stoplight.